Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Minipla Zenkai Gattai Series 01 ZenkaiOh JuraGaon set. So this is a full set of all 5 Minipla boxes that you need to build JuraGaon, as featured very prominently here on the front of the box. You can see the 2 Juran and Gaon right here. And then there's a couple miscellaneous pieces for various poses and whatnot. But we're getting set boxes, so we have some really nice artwork here on the box. Not so much over here, that's mostly warnings and stuff, but over here, and then over here it shows how you have the robot mode and the beast mode for both, and then of course the combined mode of the two. So all that is possible with this set. And then on the bottom, really nothing going on there. If we go ahead and open this up, we can take a look at the individual boxes inside. Like I said, there are 5 boxes. Go ahead, pop this out. So here is the front of the box. Got JuraGaon, got Zenkaiger there on the front. And then this is the breakdown. First box gives you the top half, bottom half. Same thing for Gaon over here. And then the miscellaneous pieces. So pretty cool. And pretty much all these boxes are exactly the same with the exception of the number. But the front and the backs all look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all stickered up, put together, and then we will take a closer look. So here are Juran and Gaon assembled and fully stickered up. And I gotta be honest, they're a little disappointing in this mode. I really feel like they could have done something to give them a little bit more articulation, and I'll show you what I mean. So we have the sword and the shield, which look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just take them out of their hands just so we can get a closer look at everything. So put that off to the side. So there's really not much articulation to speak of. It's really not much different than the DX version in that regard. You have a swivel here in the shoulder. You have a little under 90 degrees in the elbow. I guess actually he can bend backwards, which doesn't really make any sense, but he comes to about there and he stops. Head can swivel from side to side because it's just pegged in. And that's really it. I mean, I guess technically you can move these, but it doesn't really help you at all. I guess technically you can move this too, but knees aren't supposed to bend that way. That's really for elbow articulation later on. So they definitely sacrificed articulation in these modes so that they could have it later on in the combined robot mode, which I guess makes sense. But Minipla is usually the answer when the DX version doesn't really have a lot of articulation. Minipla usually comes through and hooks you up with, you know, really great articulation. I feel like if they couldn't do anything with the legs, maybe they could have at least given us like a hinge in the shoulder, maybe, to get this a little out to the side. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you can see how it opens up there, and that doesn't really click into place or anything. It just kind of sits in there. Taking a look at the head, it looks good. It's all stickers. It's just a solid black head. It's 2 pieces. There's a seam right here. They just peg together and then you sticker it all up. Blue stickers here for the eyes. The orange bands on the arms are stickers. That's pretty much it. He doesn't have a ton of stickers, but I don't know. I was just a little disappointed as far as articulation goes, so there's not really much to speak of, unfortunately. Gaon, not really much different. Again, heads all stickers. Stickers for the nose and eyes of the lion. Oh, the silver on both of these are stickers. For whatever reason, he's got a gold sticker here, but Juran does not. And then they have these little stickers here around the mouth. You can see this one over here as well. But, whoops. Stand up. Basically the same articulation. Arm moves. Now, his arms are weird. The elbows don't even really do much because of the way the lion arms are attached. So you kind of have to like bring this out and then decide how you want the arms and then fold this back down. So no matter what you do with the elbows, this piece is still connected to the arm. So I feel like, what's the point? It doesn't really get you much because the whole reason you'd want elbow articulation is to get it away from all the kibble. But that's not an option because of how it's attached. So I feel like he's got even less articulation. So he's mostly got head from side to side and swiveling arms. And I mean, we've got the nice claw here. These stickers were a pain in the butt to attach, but they're on there. And the claw looks good. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. They're a little disappointing in the robot modes. I got to be honest. And just for a comparison, because I know some people will ask, I want to zoom out a little bit here, and we'll bring in the Change Hero figures, which you can see obviously have way better articulation because they don't combine. They do change, like they do change their forms, but they don't combine. So you can see they're really about the same size. Really pretty close in height, I would say. But I don't know. These, I mean, it depends what you're looking for. Obviously, these are much better in terms of articulation. They don't have a ton of paint applications, but they do have some. I mean, these guys are all stickers, obviously, but, you know, you get a little bit more definition, like in the head. But not going to be able to transform, not going to be able to merge these two together, which we will be able to do with these two. But I just thought people would ask, so I wanted to do a quick comparison there. And it's kind of funny, they are about the same size. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start with, we'll start with Juran, and we'll go ahead and start transforming him into his T-Rex mode. So basically what you want to do, straighten the arms out, and they're going to go straight back, just like with the DX. You're going to unpeg this part here. This unpegs like so. And then you grab onto this gray part here, and then this unpegs like so. And then, I don't know if it's because of the way I have these connected, but it's really not staying linked up there. Now at this point, you can do one of two things. You can just completely remove the head, or you can spin it around. Now the directions tell you to spin it around, because that's what the DX one does. But you could just completely unpeg it if you like that look better. There's really nothing keeping it, you know, making you have to have that head just hanging off the back there. You're going to take this, you're going to angle this part down a little bit, and then this is going to peg in here, and then you just kind of like angle the feet, and then this pegs in here like so. And you want to kind of, oh, I forgot to bring in the, take the shield, and you fold this in half, just like with the DX, and this pegs in under here. And then you just kind of, you know, bring around to where you like it. You can kind of play with this a little bit in terms of, you know, angling the feet how you would like. And then you just bring in the sword, and that just pegs on here for the tail. So there is your T-Rex mode. It's not great, but again, it's very similar to the DX one. There's really no great T-Rex mode out there. And again, if you want to just take the head off, you can. A little bit cleaner of a look. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the T-Rex mode. It's okay. It's not great. Has even less articulation than the robot mode, obviously. In fact, I would say it pretty much has no. Well, that's not true. The head can open a tiny bit. So you can have kind of, the top of the head can open for opening jaws. But that's really about it. Not really too much else going on. I mean, it's, you know, it's a T-Rex mode, I guess. I'm going to put the head back on. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that. Let's go ahead and bring Gaon in. Before we get to Gaon, I knew there was something I was forgetting. They give you a little stand. So if you want to peg this in underneath, like so, and you want to position him in a way that that helps him stand, so I guess I could bring this down and then bring the legs down like this. That helps him stand a little bit. You don't need it, as you just saw. You know, I had it balanced without it, but if you want, they do give you a little stand for that purpose. So let's go ahead. Let's put him off to the side. Let's bring Gaon in. We're going to go ahead and take this off. Completely remove the head for him. And just, I guess, put that off to the side. Same thing. We're going to disconnect this section here. And then we're going to disconnect this section here. And then you're going to flip out the legs. I think you flip this part back up. So you have your lion legs. Then you're going to flip this part up a little bit. And then you need to connect this in like so. You kind of keep that at an angle. and then you take this piece and peg it in here, and then kind of bend the legs till it all evens out, and then this just pegs on top of here like this. So again, it's not great, but again, the DX ones are not really much better. It kind of works. I mean, I guess at this point you still have the movement of these legs similar to how the arms moved in the robot mode. And I guess you could move this back and forth. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can move the legs individually like so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So here we go. Let's bring these both in here. You know, they're not great in the animal modes. They never were. The DX ones weren't either. And I feel like these are about as successful. I forgot these are stickers here on the front of the paws. Wanted to point that out. So yeah, that's it for the animal modes. They are okay. But where this thing really shines is the combined mode. So let's go ahead and get to that. Alright, so to start out, we're going to take Juran. We're going to remove the head. We're going to remove the sword tail. And we're going to remove the shield that stores underneath. And we're going to just completely unpeg this section here. We are going to split him open like so. And what piece just fell off? Oh, his foot. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a minute then. So this piece goes back on here like this. Not really sure why this fell off, but there we go. Peg that back in. This is going to fold out just like the DX one. Just like so. And so you kind of have these tiny little feet. As you can see, this is going to be the foot over here. We're going to position this like so, and then leave this arm straight down. And then you can see that there is a section in here that we need to flip out. This whole section, it's a little difficult to do, but you can get it. And then there you go. That's going to give you 2 new pegs. And then you have a peg here. So this is 1/2 of JuraGaon. So now we're going to bring Gaon in. We're going to unpeg this. We're going to completely unpeg that section there. Going to fold the legs back up. And then we're going to open this one up as well, like so. We're going to flip this section down. And then you can have the little foot. You do have stickers here for the front of the little paws of the toe there. You're going to bring this around like so. This will go straight down. And then we're going to peg these two together. So you can see that those pegs up here will line up with these peg holes, and then this peg will line up with this peg hole. So go ahead and peg that all together like so. And I'm going to zoom out a bit. So you have these like this. You can kind of bring these out a little bit. Now obviously he's missing arms, so we'll get to that in a moment. Take these pieces. You're going to swing these around like this. And then these are just going to peg in on the side over here. So same with this. Bring this around. And then peg this in over here. And what's falling off now? Geez, I got pieces falling off all over the place. There we go. Keep those pegged in. And then we flip these open, just like the DX toy, although no music plays. And then you have a completely separate headpiece that I will show you quick before I attach it. So here's the JuraGaon head. And this is all stickers. This is one big sticker here on the front. This is one big sticker on the crest. The horns have 2 stickers each, one for the front and back. And then it's just a little ball joint. So we're going to pop this in right here. And there you go. There is JuraGaon. ZenkaiOh JuraGaon, I should say. And yeah, he looks pretty good. So we do have a couple other things we can do to soup this guy up, but I wanted to get into the articulation first before we do that. Head is on a ball joint, so front to back, side to side, rock side to side as well. Shoulder just spins. There's not really like a hinge to take it out to the side, but there is a hinge here on the inside of the shoulder. And then there's a bicep swivel. So if you wanted to bring this down. Now, the thing that I think is weird about this, so they have this joint, which can swivel here. There has a bicep swivel. They put a sticker on this, and then they give it elbow joint movement right there, but it's not really conducive to the way these connect. I guess if you wanted to keep these on the back, because you can swivel the wrist like this. So if you wanted to have him kind of, you know, have the arm go like that and then keep these on the back, I mean, technically you could just completely take these off if you wanted to, because they just peg on. So if you want a cleaner look, you could take those off. Or if you want, you can kind of swing them to the back like this, and then he gains elbow articulation. But if you want to keep them the more traditional way like this, he doesn't really have elbow articulation so much as he has this like weird side-to-side movement. So, and then these are just coming off all the time. So it's just weird the way they have this. And I'm really surprised that there's no movement like this. Although I guess technically we could move these down. That would probably give us more shoulder movements. Because you can see that they do have two pegs. So you can move this down. Or no, do we have this down? I think you're supposed to have it down on the second one. But there's two here. So whichever configuration you like better. I might do that just to give it a little bit more clearance for the heads. Yeah, that might work. So it's just weird the way they have the elbow articulation is the point that I'm trying to make. Nothing in the waist. Not yet. We'll get to that. You do have some movement here in the hips. We can go out to the side. We can go front to back. And the way these are done, there's a joint right here, and I'll see if I can actually zoom in. So you can see the joint here that has that swivel like that. Then the in and out joint is up here. So it's kind of like hip part 1 and then hip part 2. But then he's also got an actual knee here. And then he's also got a thigh swivel there. So it's very strange how they handle it, but it does work. You've got an ankle tilt here. So he's got a lot of articulation. It's just a little weird the way it's executed, but it does work. I'm going to put this back and then swivel the fist, just so he has the more traditional look. But there are a few pieces they give you that you can actually make this guy look a lot better. So let's get into that. So technically, you do not need the 5th box. This is 1 through 4. You can completely have the full 2 robots, Juran and Gaon. They can combine. You do not need the 5th box. The 5th box gives you a lot of pieces to really suit this guy up and really bring him to life. So you get bigger feet, which sound dumb but are a really big deal. If you just take these completely off and then peg this in, you can see what a difference that makes. I mean, just look at that. Look at the difference there. Now, obviously, something this large couldn't store, this has to swivel up and store in the robot mode, and they couldn't do that. But that's why they give you these extra pieces. So if you're just planning on leaving him in robot mode the whole time, which, let's be honest, it's easily the best mode out of all of them, you're going to want to go ahead and attach these new souped-up feet. I mean, right off the bat, he's got much better heels, really nice and sturdy now, and it just looks better. It just looks more in proportion with these bigger feet. So right off the bat, I'm loving that. Now, if we take this section and we completely unpeg the waist, just like that. So you have these two pieces sitting up there like this. They give you this little weird waist piece that you just go ahead and peg on here, like so. And they even give you a sticker so that you have the yellow side. And then you take this and peg this back in here now. Now you have a waist swivel that you did not have before. So that's fantastic. The next thing they do is they have you take these pieces off, because let's face it, they're huge and in the way. They give you these 2 smaller pieces that you just peg in like this. And you can see they have that serrated edge so that they have the teeth that commingle with each other. Then you're going to take these pieces off. Now, when you take this one off, it's going to basically collapse the whole arm because of the way that they're connected. But this is going to peg in right here. And then you take this one off of his arm. And then that's going to peg in right there. So that just kind of makes it a little cleaner. Really just makes it a smaller, thinner chest, so there's not so much in his way. And I just think it cleans him up, makes him look a little better. They give you some alternate hands. If you want like a, kind of like sprawling open hand for posing, they give you a set of those. And then I haven't really brought them back in, but of course we do have the sword and shield from Juran that we can go ahead and give him. I do think the shield is a little dinky. It would have been nice if they included a little bit bigger shield. I think the sword is perfectly fine, but the shield's just a little small. But we'll go ahead and peg that in here. Now, unfortunately, the shield pieces are connected in a way that they kind of fall off easily, but you can easily peg them back in. So here we go. Like I said, this shield's just a little dinky, and for whatever reason, it's really not wanting to peg into this hand. I'm not really sure why. But anyway, so I just think he looks a little bit better. Definitely has a lot cleaner look. Let me see if I can get this going here. Oh, I'm not done. There's actually this piece here, which you can go ahead and peg on. If I can find the thing and peg it in correctly. There we go. So he's got that. And then they give you this base. Now, there's not too much to it. It just says Super Sentai Series. And then there's two different stickers. One of them just says Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. This one said ZenkaiOh JuraGaon. So that's the one I decided to go with. And then this little Minipla sticker. So you can just kind of like, you know, put that down and have him display. There's no way to peg him in, which is a bummer. And it would have been nice if they gave him a stand. So you could do some kind of like dynamic air poses is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, this is okay too. At least it's just something to identify him. Now the problem is you're going to have a lot of leftover pieces if you decide to do this. So you're going to have to keep these somewhere handy. So that way if you ever want to put it back in the smaller modes, you'll have them handy. But I'll be honest. To me, if you want the smaller modes, I would just stick with these. Because these are much better articulated. And if you want a representation, you know, the Yudo is also coming out soon. So, you know, there are much better versions of these modes. You don't need the Minipla mode for these two. I think build this guy in this mode and leave him like this. Because he looks great. He really does. He's got nice articulation. You even have these arms on the back that if you wanted to just take them off, you absolutely could. Because they're not really serving anyone any purpose back there. So just to give him an even cleaner look. I mean, it's a good looking robot once you have it in this mode. Once you have this all put together with all the bonus pieces, the bigger feet I feel like make a huge difference. You have that waist articulation there now, which is a big deal. I still think the way they did the arms is a little weird, but if you want that elbow articulation, it's there. You can swing these legs to the back or just take them off completely if you like that cleaner look too. So you have some options, but he's definitely got a good look once you clean him up a little bit with the extra pack. I really do think that extra fifth box is a big deal because it really does give you something to really put this guy together and make him look fantastic. You don't need it. You could just get away with the first 4 boxes and absolutely have a JuraGaon that works. But I think this, it's like night and day. It makes all the difference. I was really kind of disappointed with the robot modes and the like animal modes before I did the combination. And then once I did the combination, I was like, wow, okay, that's what they focused on. They really put all of their love and attention into this combined robot mode. I'm assuming they just figured you're going to build him like this, you're going to leave him in this mode for display, and there you go. But they wanted to give you the capability so you could do the combination, which I appreciate. Because some people do really buy Minipla instead of the DX versions. That's kind of what they've decided to, you know, put their money into. And so they wanted to give you that ability to do the combination. But I think at the end of the day, you're going to put this guy in this mode, and this is how you're going to leave it. I wish that shield was a little bigger. I really feel like that's comically small. I feel like it would have been neat to give you just a, you know, hollow but large shield piece that you could just to display him with. It doesn't have to transform or anything, just so it would be a little bit more size accurate to the robot. But overall, I really think the robot mode here looks good, has great articulation, the stickers are good. Yeah, like I said, there are a couple things I still think are weird, and a couple things I don't agree with. Mostly the smaller modes, but there are other ways to get better versions of those. I mean, let's be honest. There's not a toy that exists for this line that has a good animal mode for either of these characters. They don't exist. They didn't design them that way. There's no great lion mode or dino mode out there because, you know, they just didn't focus on that. There are great versions of the robot modes out there, either the Change series or the Yudo that are coming out. like I said, you're going to get some version of the animals. There's not really a great version out there, but this is the best version of the combined robot, in my opinion, in terms of look, articulation, stickers instead of paint effects, but still looks really great. The DX versions are fine, but you don't have anywhere near as much articulation with the DX version. So I think it's a lot of fun. I'd like to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.